So, after the Civil War that ended in 18, 1865, we entered the Reconstruction era, which lasted from 1865 to 1877. It was in this era where um, formerly black people, formerly enslaved black people, were being still integrated into the society. The article was published on April 28, 1873, in a newspaper in Massachusetts, so it was in the middle of the Reconstruction era. This article is about the Colfax Massacre, which was when a group of white supremacists attacked a courthouse where a bunch of black people were there. This conflict was caused by a contested local election and ended up with the courthouse being burned and and around 150 people, black people, killed as they were trying to run away and surrender. This attack was caused also by the white supremacist opposition to black people having any political power in the country. This article was published in a newspaper from the north, so it was to show how the north disapproved of the actions of these people from the south who attacked, who killed all these black people. um, they described this attack as atrocious, a diabolical cruelty, and a terrible tragedy. The That was in the first paragraphs of the article. Um, then this article also sets the record straight on who started this whole this whole fight. Well, if it can be called a fight because it was the white people attacking the black. Um, because the white people were trying to put the blame on the black people, but that wasn't what actually happened. The article says to excuse those barbarities, they tell backstories of riot and tumult or armed bands of Negroes roaming around the country, robbing and murdering innocent white people. But the article also says that these stories lack any proof, um, because they really don't provide any names of these white victims of black people. These stories were just false rumors to try to make the black people seem as bad and to try to put the blame on them. The language used in this article is highly critical of the South people. The people from the North didn't see the people from the South in a very good light, which is another bias. The people from the North really saw the beliefs of the South as lower. They saw the people from the South in a lower light, as lower as them because of their beliefs, their outdated beliefs on slavery and black people's rights. The article calls white people from Colfax as poor, ignorant, and vicious who live in a rude way, doing little labor of any kind, and of course they were rebels when the rebellion was in fashion. This sentence is using previous their previous acts during the Civil War that they succeeded the Union to show that they have a bias against black people. So, yeah, there's two bias. The article shows the bias of the white people from the south against the black people from against black people, and this article, its whole language and tone shows also bias from the people from the north against the people of the south. This article was written for people from the north who might have been falling for the propaganda from the south, because it said in the article, um, the the white supremacists from the south were trying to blame the black people um, for this whole thing. This article narrates the real events of what exactly happened and what caused the whole thing. The article says on Sunday, the 13th instant, about 400 men armed with rifles and one piece of artillery appeared before the courthouse, in which many colored men with their wives and families had taken refuge. This shows that this wasn't started by black people. It was the white people who arrived armed and prepared to attack. Um, they weren't being attacked first. They weren't defending themselves. They went with bad intentions from the start against these poor black people who were in the courthouse. This article shows that even after the Civil War and during the Reconstruction period, and even after, um, mistreatment of black people continued. Like, it took a while for people to like fully change their views and beliefs. They, even to this day, they still suffer. There's still people who are racist. This mistreatment of black people in the article wasn't as surprising to me, because I personally like to watch movies for the civil rights movement, black people stories. Mostly, I like to watch movies based on real life stories of black people who overcome challenges they face or because of the oppressing society. Though the movies I've watched are mostly set in the 1950s and 60s, when was the civil rights movement was like um, starting with, and so they weren't as violent, the oppression faced by the characters in those movies. Because of the time of this article, I expected it, like, yes, to be worse, to be more mistreatment, but I wasn't expecting as much violence. Um, Shooting people who are trying to run away and surrender after you set the courthouse on fire is a terrible. So it's terrible. So yes, this was a tragedy and an atrocity. I can agree with that with the newspaper.